raining heavily a couple of hours ago. We're in a little window of just mist right now. Light rain in the forecast, but it's mid-December. It could be snow. Could be pretty and beautiful. Instead, it's just cold and nasty and raw.
Eyes against this Saint defense. They have struggled stopping it.
You just talked about the first 15 getting off to a good start. Part of the issue has been bad field position. They begin at the 7 with Forte running right. And Matt Forte just about 2 yards to the 9-yard line. So, of course, there are changes on this offense. Let's start with Ryan Groy, the rookie from Wisconsin, undrafted, getting the start from Michael Ola, who's inactive here tonight. Bennett and Jeffrey, the two big pass catchers, get busier because Brandon Marshall's out for the rest of the season with the lung and rib injury. Marquise Wilson will move into that number 2 receiver spot, and Josh Morgan the third. On 2nd and 8, Cutler's first attempt of the night is incomplete. Nothing open. Dante Rosario, the other tight end, the intended receiver.
And once again, a special teams penalty on the first play of the game. And Jay Cutler was fooled that time by the Saints' disguise. And Mark Trestman just cannot find opening plays to get this offense on the right foot.
53.
And Marshall was such a magnet for Cutler, especially in third down situations. Jeffrey will get a lot of attention along with Bennett. Somebody else going to have to get open here tonight. There's a shot through the hands of Bennett, scooped by Patrick Robinson. Interception for Robinson, out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
Game cannot start any worse.
Not forced a lot of turnovers, has given up a ton of yards. Gives Drew Brees a short field. Starting at the 24 with Mark Ingram. Ingram gains nearly 10 on the opening play. Tackled by the Saints' Ryan Mundy.
And Sean Payton told us last night they want to run the football. The weather obviously is a factor. Mark Ingram was out of the game last week against the Carolina Panthers for the most part because of the lopsided score. They want to establish Ingram and set up some play-action passes later.
That second offensive play last week where Ingram fumbled the ball. Slant in stride. Caught by June, who lost the ball. Exactly what happened last week. Second play of the 18th of his career. It's the most among active NFL players. So Cutler and the Bears start from the 3, and Forte gets 6.
That's what I want to see. I want to see a lot more of Matt Forte. In the last 2 games, he's carried the ball 18 times for 42 yards. There's been no balance in this Bear offense. They must establish Matt Forte, take some pressure off Jay Cutler and this offensive line, which has had no continuity.
Forte's second run runs to the left and gets the first down. He ran behind the new offensive starter in Groy at the left guard spot. Let's check the defense here for New Orleans. It's Hicks, Jenkins in the middle for Bunkley, and Jordan up front. Changes in the linebacking spot. Ramon Humber will see a lot of playing time tonight. Secondary is very shaken up. I call your attention to Terrence Frederick. In his first year in the league, he played 2 NFL games on special teams for the Giants. And he's starting a game for the first time in his career tonight. Cutler's got time. And slings it and is held onto by Wilson. Knocked out of bounds by the aforementioned Mr. Frederick.
That's one thing Jay Cutler does quite well. He can extend plays. That time, Wilson did a nice job recognizing Cutler under duress and worked back to his quarterback to set up a second and short. But you mentioned it, Mike. Frederick at right corner for the New Orleans Saints. We had to do a lot of homework to find out who this man is. He is the 3rd different corner I've seen start opposite Keenan Lewis. And he's going to have his hands full with Alshon Jeffrey at the top of the screen.
Corey White started 9 games. He's inactive tonight. After that first down gain of 7, Forte going to gain a yard. Curtis Law, the final totals. So Marquise Wilson will have to pick up some of that slack. The guy who had an injured collarbone, clavicle, in the offseason, but they were really high on Wilson's development. It's a long yard on third down that Cutler needs. And incomplete. Off the hands of the crossing Alshon Jeffrey. And after picking up one first down, the Bears will kick it away.
Those are plays Jay Cutler has to hit.
After the second play, catch and fumble, they take over their own 30. The blitz coming, a screen behind it to Pierre Thomas. Bounces off two tacklers. Thomas accelerates. Still going. Thomas, 40 yards on the catch and run.
Pierre Thomas killed the Saints last year with screens, and he just killed them again. The blitz is going to be on off the right side. It's a zone blitz. Pierre Thomas bluffs the blitz. He slips out in the flat, finds Jari Evans, and Pierre cuts it back, and it's poor tackling by the Chicago Bears. But Pierre Thomas in this New Orleans Saints screen game has been absent in recent weeks. Good to see that big hit.
Officially a 39-yard reception, the second longest of his career. And it's back to Ingram to the left, and Jared Allen trying to strip it out as Ingram gains yard and a half. So Ingram working towards a 1,000-yard season, had a decent year behind these players. Armstead back after the neck injury, getting the start on the offensive front. Ingram, Pierre Thomas, you've just seen. Hey, Jimmy Graham, can you get going here? Just 3 catches the last couple of weeks. Seems to try to take the big receiver out of the offensive production for the Saints. 2nd and 8. Breeze lost the ball. He gets back on it. And a loss of 5 for New Orleans.
Well, Sean Payton can't be happy.
Season 45 of Monday Night Football next week at this time. Out of the New Orleans timeout, 3rd down. And 8. I beg your pardon, 3rd and 12 as Breeze throws. Incomplete, looking for Colston. And the coverage is good from Al Lewis-Jean, so it'll be 4th down.
A lot of young Bears in this secondary. And Al Lewis-Jean does a nice job covering Marcus Colston on that patented New Orleans Saint seam route. And here's Shane Graham.
Row 41, Forte will work to the left. A good run from Matt Forte. Louisiana native, played at Tulane. Yard shy of the 1st down.
Nice work bouncing it to the outside. Matt Forte loves that scheme. They get a double team up front. He tries to push it right behind the double team. And if nothing's there, he'll bounce it and count on some perimeter blocking. That time he made Keenan Lewis miss in the open field, and it's 2nd and 1.
Forte to the right, made the defensive back miss. The flag down as Forte gets taken down by half the New Orleans defense. It's a gain of 16 if it holds up, but it won't.
A hard watch early.
We're only halfway through the 1st quarter, so there's more. Kadeem Carey is the back, gets the screen. The rookie from Arizona gets within a couple of yards of the 1st down as Lofton and Hawthorne spill him.
It's a 3-man rush. The Saints are showing blitz. And watch this left guard. He's about the 3rd different left guard. You pointed him out. Rookie Ryan Groy out of Wisconsin. Muscle up. Downfield to set up a 3rd down and 1 near midfield. Where these big Saint defensive linemen got to get their pads down, explode at the point of attack.
Carey, who's only played 10% of the snaps this year, remains in and gets the 1st down at the 46-yard line. So only 1 snap played last week. Back-to-back here for the rookie Carey against the defense of Rob Ryan. Remember, the Saints had the worst defense in the league a couple of years ago, historically bad. Ryan helped turn it around last year in his 1st season in New Orleans, but this year it's been a different story. This defense, 2nd to Atlanta for most yards given up. Forte trying to bounce it. No block from Rosario, and David Hawthorne comes up with the New Orleans stop.
Go back to Rob Ryan. He's been a lightning rod. He's been highly criticized this season for all the statistics. But, Mike, I know the assistant coaches that work with Rob Ryan. Joe Vitt, the linebacker coach. Bill Johnson, the defensive line coach. I really think the secondary coach, Wesley McGriff, is a rising star. It's not all coaching. Some of these Saint players on defense got to play a lot better.
It's been a revolving door in the secondary. Cutler's pressured here, and Hawthorne makes back-to-back plays. David Hawthorne, the former Seahawk, with the sack and the big loss.
Oh, Rob Ryan called a blitz there, and again, they're not on the same page. You see Hawthorne on the right side of the screen, come in concert with 53 Humber. It's not blocked correctly, and that's been the criticism, whether it's warranted or not warranted, of Jay Cutler. There's just not enough communication. There's not enough execution at the line of scrimmage in the run game and in some of these pass protections. They're a long way to go. Good luck.
After Hawthorne's first sack of the season, Cutler knocked down by Junior Gillette. And that was an ugly sequence of Chicago
to get it going on offense.
This drive starts at the 15, and Breeze out of the pocket, throwing sideline, and Tune hangs on, ruled a catch right at the first down marker at the 25.
I like what Sean Payton's doing with Nick Tune. He had a fumble early in the game. He could have benched the young receiver and gone back to Marcus Colston, but he's staying with Tune. We know he has good genes, Mike. His dad was quite a receiver, but they like the promise of Tune. He's finally healthy, and the former Wisconsin Badger, if he can take care of the football, is coming on.
Ingram runs left. First down, 26-yard line as he's taken down there. Check that Chicago defense. We mentioned Jared Allen's been active, a fumble recovery, and a holding penalty on that field goal attempt earlier. Christian Jones, they like the promise of the undrafted rookie from Florida State. He starts with Bostic and McClellan. A couple of rookies in the secondary. Brock Fareed playing free safety, and Kyle Fuller, who splashed early on, especially against the Jets and San Francisco. But Mel Tucker's rookie corner among the players who has struggled in the second half of the season. 2nd and 9, Breeze is complete. Kenny Stills accelerates into the secondary at the 47. First down.
5-man rush, man-to-man coverage, very good pass protection, and Kenny Stills, an anonymous deep threat, has really improved his overall game. That time a simple hook route. Breeze is on the money. Fuller, number 23, has struggled in recent weeks. He's had a hand problem, he's had a hip problem, but the promising rookie hasn't been the same as he was early.
47, couple of tight ends into block. Breeze backpedaling and just getting rid of it. Incomplete. Flag is down as Breeze was pressured by Jared Allen. Back season, which he's done each of the last 7 years. Pierre Thomas, the running back, on 1st and 20. He's got the screen from Breeze. And Thomas, that's a second big gain on a screen with Pierre Thomas tonight.
It's unbelievable. Long yardage, first down. You have to expect the screen. And Sean Payton does an excellent job sometimes running tight ends on shallow crosses, diversionary routes. Everybody went with Jimmy Graham, and no one was ready for Pierre Thomas. But sometimes using Jimmy Graham as a diversion is as good as throwing him the football. Second time Pierre Thomas has rung him up with a screen.
Gains of 39 and 31 on 2 screen passes. And Ingram with a run. Maybe a yard. So you mentioned Graham as a diversionary tactic, at least on that play. He gets attention. John, remember the big contract issue with Jimmy Graham in the offseason. He wanted to be paid like a receiver, not like a tight end. He ended up being ruled to be in the tight end category. If you look at his yards this year, they've come down. Are defensive backs treating him like a receiver?
They sure are, and they know he's not a blocker. They know he's not your conventional tight end. He's being treated like a wideout.
From the 30, Ingram to the left with a gain of about 5 yards.
Look out there now. They just ran the football. Benjamin Watson was the tight end. So the Saints have some tendency, certainly, with Jimmy Graham. He is a receiving specialist tight end. He spends a lot of his time detached from the formation, but they have to get him going somehow, some way. His silence has a lot to do with where the Saints are the last couple of weeks. Look at Drew Brees in the huddle.
He's down there low, great presence. Armstead, the left tackle, out. Bryce Harris is in. Final play of the quarter, and Breeze pumps, eludes the rush to fire downfield with a ton of contact, and a flag coming.
What Breeze tell us last night? I don't care.
Struggled of late. They have a chance to start the second with some points. Kyrie Robinson is in at the running back. And Breeze looking to throw. It's the tight end, Josh Hill, getting to the pylon and in for the touchdown.
That's just a great setup by Pete Carmichael, Sean Payton of the New Orleans Saints. They sent every signal that...
Quite a career for a player who many thought too short to play at the college or the pro level. Mark Mariani, kickoff return. Chicago made a good move to get to the edge. The former Titan spun out of bounds as he crossed the 35-yard line.
Ow.
So start from the 36-yard line out of the eye. It is Cutler looking downfield and across the middle. Wilson, that was fumbled or an incomplete rule from the side. They say Wilson didn't hang on to it as
Ruling on the
Frederick
field
was
as
there.
the pass is incomplete. Second down.
Martellus Bennett is telling Mark Trestman to...
So 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. And Cutler adjusting the protection in the play at the line. Saints rush 4. It's through the hands of Forte and incomplete. And John, you pointed it out before the game. The first 15.
Let's see if they bring it up inside.
He walked over to tell something to Bennett and Morgan, the receivers to his right. Firing left, Jeffrey goes up to get it, but great competition by Keenan Lewis, the top corner on this team, covering the best Bears receiver.
Roman Harper, Malcolm Jenkins, Will Smith, Jabari Greer. You can't replace all of that stuff in a locker room, and it showed on the field this year.
Graham with a catch, and Jimmy's taken out of bounds after a gain of 4. Yeah, you replace the players, like you spend the money on Bird, the free agent, safety from Buffalo, and he gets hurt. But I believe it's the Bears Saints are out of timeouts, the team that can't challenge. 2nd and 10, screen Thomas. Tracked down, chased down, and a good play by Jeremiah Ratliff, who missed the last 2 games with a knee injury, with a good play there.
A great play. It's good to see Ratliff healthy. Watch number 90 come out of the stack and go get Pierre Thomas on this screen. That is impressive. That's how Ratliff played in his prime for the Dallas Cowboys. He's missed 5 games. I saw him get 3.5 sacks against the Dolphins. He's a difference maker on this Bears defense. Nice work by Jeremiah Ratliff.
Bears bring some extra pass rush. It's picked up. Graham is crossing. Fuller's got him. And they will not get the first down. Capped off of the play by DeMontre Hurst.
That's what they liked about Fuller coming out of Virginia Tech. And once again, Mike, defenses aren't putting safeties and linebackers against Jimmy Graham. They know he's a big receiver. Let's put our best coverage man on him.
That big effort beyond those 4 players. Now they're down to 3 without Marshall for the rest of the season. So other players have to step up, like Marquise Wilson, who makes the catch there with a gain of 8 yards.
I call those 4 Bears the 4 horsemen, Mike. I'm not kidding. You remember the 4 horsemen at Notre Dame? Newt Rockne had that, Elmer Layden. But what do they do without Marshall? Who becomes the 4th option? It must be Wilson. But not a lot of ball distribution this year.
Oh, terrific plays. Forte was trying to get to the edge, and Terrence Frederick, who we mentioned getting his first NFL start, buzzing over to make the play.
Bears love these toss cracks. They block down on the linebacker. They block down on the safety, and it forces a cornerback to step up and make the tackle. Nice work by Frederick. He's held his own so far.
Matchup remains at the top of the screen with Keenan Lewis, the best corner, against Alshon Jeffrey. 3rd and 3 here for Chicago. Cutler eludes the sack. He's in trouble, and he goes down. His first look was over to Jeffrey, but no space as Lewis was playing the tight bump coverage. And David Hawthorne makes his 3rd play of this first half.
Well, you're going to see Forte, I believe, come across in pass protection. It's a 1-man route over there, and Jeffrey was covered. There are no checkdowns, and once again, Cutler goes down, and the Bears look chaotic and disorganized on offense. I'd be surprised if Sean Payton and Drew Brees don't put their foot down on this series.
O'Donnell punting for the fourth time. It's a fake. And it's run by the personal protector, Danny McCray. And I don't think he got there.
Not even close, I don't think, Mike.
Bears are very deliberate before the snap. And they come up a full. The Saints a great opportunity.
Going to take a shot here, Mike.
On the 41-yard line, you heard Brees say kill, kill. He changed the play. Ingram trying to get the edge, and there he goes down the sideline.
Coming back.
Yep. Flag was thrown. You could see one of the Bears with their arms flailing as they went down. 23-yard gain nullified with that holding flag. Brees in the middle, caught by Colston. Got it all back and then some. First down, New Orleans inside the Chicago 30.
I always like that better, Mike. Marcus Colston, he's done it for years. He and Drew Brees are like fine wine. Over 650 catches just to square in by Colston, and the ball's thrown over the linebackers and under the safety, and Colston physically gets the first down. Keep an eye on Kenny Stills at the top of the screen. He's the deep ball threat of the 2014 Saints.
28, Ingram with the fullback blocking for him. Minimal gain. Shane McClellan comes over and makes the stop.
A lot of new skilled players in this Saint offense. The line, mostly veterans, but the emergence of Kenny Stills. You see Nick Toon getting playing time, and Cadet now in.
Robinson.
Actually, it is Robinson. Good to see him back in action.
5-7.
Kyrie Robinson was healthy and ready last week, but as they fell behind, they couldn't get him in.
Mike 5-7. Here we go. We're good.
There's 6 games with a forearm injury. Here he is on the run. Robinson will gain 2 yards. He'll set up a 3rd down and long. Remember, Johnny was undrafted, Robinson, and earned the job. We saw the Saints training camp back a year ago, and Sean Payton kept saying, I can't cut this guy. We put him in games in the preseason, 3rd, 4th quarter, he plays well, earned his spot on the roster here for year 2, but the season short-circuited by the injury.
A lot of undrafted running backs have thrived here, and Pierre Thomas is another one who's back in the game.
Brees got away from the Pius sack, won't get away from Willie Young. We'll go fishing for another one.
Well, Jared Allen with the initial pressure, and Willie Young mops it up. But Allen beating Bryce Harris, and Willie Young, 9.5 sacks. I don't think he had 9.5 sacks in his career as a Detroit Lion, but it's decision time for Drew Brees. Do you punt this football or kick the long field goal? Looks like they're punting.
7-0. Past the halfway point of the 2nd quarter. This drive number 6 for the Bears. They have very little to show. Just 2 first down. Forte trying to find a place to run. Getting less than 5 offense. Of course, a lot of news in the offseason as the Bears decide to give Cutler the long-term contract. Forte the run. He'll get a first down. Back-to-back 5-yard carries. Says he's elite. His numbers do not say he is elite. And those stats back that up. Trouble here. Spun around by the rookie Edebali. And he's able to keep the play away from a sack and incomplete. Kasim Edebali, the rookie out of Boston.
Just improve.
Flag makes it 2nd and 15. Cutler's got time here. Very few people open downfield, so he gets Rosario for the limited game back to the 30-yard line. But what do you mean about a quarterback? And
Intolerable in pro football. Can't happen.
3rd and 11, and it's Bennett shy of the first down. He's stopped at the 39-yard line. And it'll be another possession with the Bears this year. And it could come down to the final week of the season when Carolina plays Atlanta. Breeze, first down pass, Colston. Some breathing room out to the 19-yard line.
You don't see many defenses this time of year that have 5 rookies on the field, Mike. Defensive tackles, Ego Ferguson, Will Sutton. Linebacker, Christian Jones. You have Kyle Fuller at corner, Brock Vereen at safety. Mel Tucker and this defensive coaching staff have a lot of inexperienced young Chicago Bears. Hard to believe they have 5 rookies on the field at a time.
Breeze has hit 9 in a row. Here he gives to Ingram, who was pulled down just shy of the 25-yard line. Ryan Mundy with the tackle. The veterans who are gone include Peanut Tillman and Lance Briggs, longtime Bears, both on injured reserve. Both could very well be done with their Chicago days as contracts about to expire.
Well, Briggs and Urlacher, what they did for this team for over a decade, they were wrecking machines, and the intelligence that they brought to the field and the professionalism unmatched.
2nd and 4. Breeze, 10th consecutive completion. That one's to Kenny Still. Sean Payton better get out of the way. Remember, his leg was broken in Tampa a few years ago on the
are a key to his success.
11th straight completion, and Robinson is tripped up. Flagged down.
First down.
Made the play illegally.
You are really good at this. You saw that.
That's the second one of those I've seen here in the last 10 days or so. And you rarely see defensive tripping, but it's been called a couple of times here this year.
Drew Brees is going to let this.
Significant announcement for you as well, the back end of halftime, so stay with us for that. 1st and 10 for the Saints here in the last 2 minutes. Brees has Thomas out of the backfield, who's had 3 good pass receptions here in this first half.
And the Saints are protecting quite well. The Bears love to bring 5 and play zone blitz coverage behind it. Nice pickup by the Saints.
The 45, Breeze firing right. It's Graham, pushed out of bounds by Ryan Mundy, and a flag down. Saints, the one remaining team in this division that can get to 500. They can win them all and get to 8-8. Be the chance. Screen Thomas. It's worked twice. This time the Bears rally to it and limit the game with Tim Jennings.
4th different screen pass that they've thrown. Pierre Thomas has caught all of them. The Bears have struggled in their 2-minute defense. Let's see if Mel Tucker brings the heat. Here they come.
On 2nd and 8, Breeze hits his 14th in a row, the longest stretch he's had of consecutive completions within a game this year.
The clock stopped.
The 22-yard line. Remember, the Saints out of timeouts. Breeze. Graham almost had the one-hand catch. Lifting back the other way as Ryan Mundy says, can I get offensive pass? That one wouldn't be an on-target drop when it gets reviewed. But looking for the circus play. Colston with the catch inside the 10. First down, New Orleans with 52 seconds left.
I love the way Marcus Colston catches the football. No wasted motion. North-south, get the first down. Here they come.
And New Orleans operating down here with no timeouts. Used them all. Breeze. End zone for Colston, who hangs on for the New Orleans touchdown.
What a beautiful throw. And Marcus Colston bodies up for 6. When you're 6'4" and loud in about 15 seconds.
Well, they are used to second quarter struggles. Forte with the carry to the 31-yard line. Chicago will take the timeout. They have 2 more, 19-second, 14-yard gain. That's a lot for the Bears in this first half. 18 seconds left as Cutler throws, and a sliding catch by Jeffrey just shy of midfield. And Chicago uses another timeout with 12 seconds remaining until halftime.
Oh, the Saints came with a blitz. Bears did an adequate job of picking.
Hard grab there, the first one of the night.
57, line turn.
Bringing an extra offensive lineman to help protect on this first down right near midfield. Gets to edge and field goal range. As maybe more with Wilson. No, underthrown and intercepted. Picked off by Pierre Warren of the Saints. As Warren returns it at the end of the half. Just shy of midfield.
One of the most disappointing offensive first halves I've seen from anybody in a while.
From here, what Lisa's getting for a vibe down on the sideline. The 5-8 eliminated Bears for the 4th straight year. Hard run by Ingram. Starts this half with a gain of 4 yards. Again, to reset the NFC South story, Drew Brees and the Saints win here tonight. Win against Atlanta. Win against Tampa Bay in Tampa. They're the NFC South champs who will host a playoff game as the 4 seed.
Bears, I don't even like the way they came out of the locker room to start the 3rd quarter. They came out disjointed, not together. They need somebody to make a play quick.
This is 2nd and 6 and almost intercepted. Tim Jennings got a hand on it and able to break up the pass completion.
He's a very good zone defender that time. He backpedals. He sees the ball thrown. That's a beautiful breaking drive by Jennings. Transition. You got to break on the ball before the receiver can get his hands on it. Jennings shows his quickness. 3rd down and 6.
Jared Allen asking the fans for some noise, some support as he brings the pass rush from the bottom of your screen. Brees steps up, throws complete to Graham. Jimmy Graham past midfield and a 1st down as he ran away from the rookie Kyle Fuller.
Well, Drew Brees in the pocket is amazing. He always keeps the ball in the throwing position, sliding up, continuous movement, and that ball can't be thrown any better. 14-yard basic cross by Jimmy Graham, and right out of the break, the ball is a foot in front of his number so Graham can run with it. Shot play. Anytime you see 2 backs in the backfield in this field position, be alert for a play action pass.
And then you heard Brees come right out and say, kill, kill. He throws it complete to Kenny Stills, who gains 9 on that catch. You talked about Brees, John, on that play to Graham a moment ago, and it's a football term that's used, climbing the pocket, and this is the picture of climbing the pocket. When I hear that term, I think of Drew Brees stepping up and throwing.
I remember watching him at Purdue coming out. He has always been meticulous, working on footwork drills. It's amazing the amount of time he puts into the position.
2nd and 1. This will be a handoff with Ingram. Keep the legs churning, and he'll get the 1st down.
Look great tonight.
Pressure here, nowhere to go, and Brees will go down for the sack at the 43-yard line. Ryan Mundy able to out-wrestle Kyrie Robinson.
Excuse me, Mike. That's what happens to Robinson. He hasn't played much. He's more of a runner than a pass protector. But if you play for Sean Payton, you have to be able to pick up these blitzes. And that time, Mundy destroyed him.
Mundy had a pick 6 on Monday Night Football, and the game earlier this year against the Jets now comes up with the sack, 2nd and long. And Brees will throw it to Robinson in the middle of the field. Get some of that sack yardage back into the 35-yard line. Will bring up 3rd at about 8.
Simple check down. You're going to see Robinson check down over the ball, but watch Drew Brees looking to his right. The clock goes off. He knows exactly where to go. If you're a young quarterback out there, learn how to use all 5 eligible receivers. That's what makes the New Orleans Saints special. They use all 5 eligibles. The ball distribution is unbelievable.
Meacham in motion. Brees with time. And the completion is Stills. The Stills and Tune are stepping up their game against this weak Chicago secondary, and it's a 1st down for New Orleans.
Great pass protection, just a 2-man route. And they use Meacham to clear out the deep zone, and Kenny Stills on a corner route is wide open. Look at that upward tilt by Drew Brees. He's not the tallest quarterback, but he stands tall in the pocket. Great two-receiver slot combination. What a route by Kenny Stills who's coming on.
Orange! Orange! Hey, Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". Alert!
Ingram with the run. It'll be 2, 3, 4 yards as he keeps going forward. We were talking to Breeze about that video, and you mentioned Greg Olson, the position coach and coordinator in the National Football League for a while. His quarterback coach at Purdue, he said, I owe so much to Greg, who was like a dad away from home, helped me develop as a man. But the attention to detail going back to Schrader and Ahi, his high school coaches at Westlake High School in Austin, Texas, on through Norv Turner, Brian Schottenheimer, Cam Cameron, Marty Schottenheimer, and now Sean Payton. A lot of good coaches who were helped by Breeze's dedication and talent and his pinpoint accuracy to Nick Toon there. That gets New Orleans another first down.
They give Drew Brees so much freedom. That's a running play all the way, and they tell Nick Toon to run a built-in bullet slant, and Drew Brees gets the laces, and that ball is out. You see how he changes his arm angles to avoid the batted down passes? It's a beautiful thing.
Our director, Chip Dean, and our great crew caught that shot before we went to the replay of the thumbs up from Breeze. That was to Toon because, as you said, it was a running play, and the young receivers picking up the little things that the veteran receivers have often done for Drew. Ingram with the opening in the middle will get near the 7-yard line. They've already driven 85 and 95 yards for a touchdown, and New Orleans knocking on the door of an 80-yard touchdown drive here.
Got a new offensive guard in there. Sanio Calameti is checked in. Now he's coming off the field. Sean Payton walked into the team meeting after he lost 41-10. He says, not good enough. Changes will be made. Watch. And he has the Saints' attention.
Hey, easy.
Ben Grubbs back in.
50.
2nd and 5. Breeze rolling. Hill for his second touchdown of the night.
High manipulation shred. To Robinson. Hill's going to come out to his right. Mundy's in perfect position, but Drew Brees looks him off, and then Hill's wide open for 6.
James in Cleveland tonight jumped up to a 21-0 lead on Charlotte. Charlotte came back and lost by 9. I don't know if the Bears have that kind of comeback in them, but we'll see. It's not a good start to the second half after first half of disappointing offense.
Hey, stand.
Again, operating without Brandon Marshall, their top receiver on injured reserve, done for the year. 2nd and 10, right up the middle, right at Cutler, and down he goes again. David Hawthorne's been there a couple of times.
Blood is in the water, and the Saints know it. Hawthorne 57 on a blitz. Confusion again, and down goes Jay Cutler. Who has pride? If I'm GM Phil Emery, I'm disgusted with what I'm seeing.
There's a 3rd sack for Hawthorne here tonight. 3rd and long, and underneath it's Forte. He just keeps working hard. Not much to show for it. 3 and out Bears. Coach today. ESPN has a doubleheader of the NBA tonight, or tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and Friday night. 3 NBA doubleheaders coming this week. Short gain of a yard on the run on first down with Ingram. Drew Brees closing in on another 300-yard performance. He's only had a couple of incompletions on the night.
Boy, these championship quarterbacks, if you put Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees statistics together against this Bear defense, holy cow, these championship quarterbacks had their way with Chicago.
2nd and 9, and this pass incomplete. Intended for Stills, and it stops 6 consecutive completions by Brees.
And Chicago fans are hoping one day they can get close to those two.
3rd and 9, Brees throws Watson. There's a tackle by Christian Jones. Mel Tucker tells John he looks and runs the part. He made the play there to force the Saints off the field.
Jones wasn't drafted. Had some bad things happen at the combine, but
The fact that he owned it, manned up about it, they hashed it out, and for them it's done for now. But certainly questions of trust going forward within that small group continue to linger after Cromer was honest that he was the source for those reports. Martellus Bennett with the catch. A good extra work there for 12 yards and some life from the Bears and the first
board and make sure in good times or bad we support our quarterback, especially our highest paid players.
Pass intended for Bennett, incomplete as Cutler gets hit again.
I remember Mike Holmgren came in and he said we're trading for Brett United, and there's a problem here in Chicago right now.
180.
Cutler hit on that last play in addition to those 4 sacks featuring Bennett on this drive. Thrown to him 3 times, got hit very hard on that play, and so too did David Hawthorne. The linebacker gets up after the gain by Bennett. John, you made a good point as we were discussing this issue back and forth during the week, that it needs to be a lesson to assistant coaches around the league as well to learn from what happened to a good guy, Aaron Cromer.
He's a great guy, and you know, everybody makes mistakes, but you have to use this as a learning opportunity if you're a young coach. Be careful who you talk to and what you say. There's an unwritten code of ethics if you want to be a coach.
This is 3rd and 3 for Cutler and the Bears. 1 of 8 on 3rd downs. Shot play for Jeffries. Safety coming over. Intercepted for the 2nd time tonight by Pierre Warren, who's out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
You got to look off the free safety.
Mike 5-7.
Breeze and the Saints taking over at their own 44. All kinds of time for Breeze. Perfectly lofted to Graham.
This last interception, Mike, is not...
Really?
No doubt.
Gain of 26 to Graham. Jared Allen off the edge. Can't get there in time. 1 step away from Kenny Stills. That pass incomplete as Allen finally was able to knock down history. We'll see Manning next Monday night in Cincinnati. 9-yard run by Pierre Thomas on 2nd and 10.
We asked Drew Brees last night, why didn't you keep Darren Sproles? I love Sproles in the Saints offense. He said we just didn't have enough money to feed all the mouths that we have. He did not want to lose Sproles, nor did he want to lose Pierre Thomas, a world champion halfback who can make a difference.
3rd and 1. Trying to run this play quick. Allen missed the sack. Breeze throws on the run. And it's brought in. Good catch by Toon for the 1st down. And these Bear fans are just livid at everything their team does.
You don't do this to Jared Allen. He's unblocked. Stop, pop, reset your feet, and then get off and run to your left and make that throw. You got to be kidding me. Jared Allen, unblocked, has the routine sack, but Drew Brees shows off his athleticism, and not many quarterbacks have the poise to reset and make that throw to their left.
Ready. Yellow lady. Ready. Where's up?
1st and goal. It's the pitch to Thomas. Gain of 2 and out of bounds after 2.
About that play, Cadet on a jet sweep. Fake it.
Around the play. Bears make some defensive substitutions for 2nd and goal at the 2. Breeze, Graham. Coverage by Mundy.
I have not seen Jimmy Graham dominate in these high point
Touchdown season that he had. 3rd and goal. Ingram out of the pie attack with the rest of the Bears. Rally to the ball and make a solid play on 3rd down.
Give the Bears defense credit for competing. I thought Breeze might give Graham another shot. They're outnumbered, it looks like. They're going to run the ball across the formation, and Stephen Paya, number 92, who's had a real good year. Mike. He's had 6 sacks. He's had a lot of disruption inside. He's going to be a free agent at the end of this season. More money for other players.
Mariotti's going to get his hands on this one at about the 4-yard line. Good return here by Mariotti. And Morstead, the kickoff man, usually kicks him through the end zone for a touchdown. Is that guaranteed money, the $54 million that you mentioned for 3 seasons? That is the actual of what the Bears are on the hook for now. End of the quarter here on this run by Forte, just shy of midfield. After 3 in Chicago, the Saints alter, and then a closer against Tampa Bay in Florida the final week of the season. Fourth quarter begins with a Forte run into New Orleans territory, which has been rare for the Bears tonight, and a first down.
What a Chicago Bear he is. I love watching him practice the other day. Plays 91% of the snaps, presses it, cuts it back, puts up a block from Wilson, number 10, and he sets the Bears up with a 1st and 10.
He was the pregame Gruden grinder. Deepest the Bears have been into Saints territory tonight. They'll hand it to Josh Morgan coming around, and Morgan staying in bounds. And working it near the 10-yard line. And looking for the flag on Pierre Warren, who has the 2 picks tonight.
That's what I'm used to seeing from Mark Trestman. Plays that start off looking the same that are different. This time, fake it to Forte. Get Rosario, 88, out front as the lead blocker. And Josh Morgan does a nice job, but don't let up on the sidelines, Josh. Pierre Warren. I like what he's done tonight. 2 interceptions, a couple impact tackles. Not bad. Mickey Loomis, the GM, picked him up off the Vikings practice squad.
After gains of 19 and 21. Down here in the red zone, Forte. Shy of the first down, taken out of bounds at 2.
That's a play that Aaron Cromer, the offensive coordinator, brought with him to Chicago from New Orleans. Bushrod, the left tackle, is going to lead this pick screen. He blocks Curtis Lofton and sets up Forte with a one-on-one opportunity. Nice design.
Forte. Minimal gain here. If the Bears do score a touchdown, they go for 2 in all likelihood. With 3 touchdowns and 2-point conversions is what they would need to tie the game up. And remember, last week against Dallas, they were in a big hole, and they came back and actually extended it long enough that they had an onside kick at the very end. If they would have recovered it, they had a chance against the Cowboys.
I'd like to see the Bears speed this process up, Mike. Every second matters when you're down by 24 points. Up for Jeffrey at the bottom of the screen.
Cutler. Jeffrey.
Keenan Lewis. He said bring it on to Jeffrey. That's the 2nd time he shut him out. To tackle Hicks, 96. Jenkins, 92. Big bodies.
Exchange all the people in their defensive front. Cutler, the crosser, with a flag down. Touchdown is caught by Wilson.
Play. Touchdown.
And Marquise Wilson gets his first touchdown of his season.
Going to run a shallow cross from left to right. Bennett, number 83, was running clearance, and Wilson, who had a great offseason, got hurt, and now is healthy again. And
5 in his career.
Over here, Lion. Tonight, 180.
Going for 2 from the 7. And getting it as Cutler uses that rocket arm to hit Martellus Bennett. And the Bears, it's flag football, it's the quarterback. So no fakes or feeling. Saints up 24-8. And Breeze will take off and slide for a gain of 3.
Good Breeze. He's got a lot. He is audibling. He can do it above the neck as well.
5-0.
Second and 7. Breeze throwing. The middle is vacant again. Graham leaping up and pulled down by that available leg at the 45-yard line.
Revealing formations. Put Jimmy Graham out there. Get a look pre-snap. Drew Brees sees it. He says kill, kill, kill. Everything's built in. He just changed the play to a quick protection. He's going to drop back and find his favorite target, Jimmy Graham, on a old-fashioned slant route. Stealing. Drew Brees says, hey, it's 24-8. Bears have a little momentum. Let me take charge. Don't be surprised if they take a shot here.
Brock Vereen made that tackle as Graham tried to hurdle. Kyrie Robinson running 3 to the 48-yard line. Robinson into Bears territory at the 47-yard line. We'll have 3rd and 2 coming up. And this snap will take us around
The top of the screen.
quick speed, only 5 catches. They'll toss to the perimeter, and Ingram strung out and stopped. Now Lewis Jean had the penetration to push it wide, and Bostic comes over to make the play, and New Orleans will punch it away.
They try to run this toss crack, and you're going to see the receivers blocked down. And Lewis Jean and Bostic do an excellent job.
That's Eddie Denver to wrap up our Monday night regular season next week, 8:15 Eastern. Cutler starts from his own 8. There goes Alshon Jeffrey to the 26-yard line. A gain of 18. Very similar to what happened last Thursday night here against Dallas.
I'll say this about Jay Cutler. He must have some kind of thick skin. 24-0. Now he's got him on the march again. They love that slant route, both of these teams, and Jeffrey does a great job going down to get it.
5-0.
So Johnny has a bit. He told us Saturday, I'm learning how to take the criticism in stride. That was not something that he did in prior years. He knows it comes with a big contract when you're 5-8. That one for Jeffrey, incomplete.
He did not like the route.
Throwing for 12 players on the field. They ruled the snap wasn't imminent, and New Orleans got the timeout. Thus, no flag and 2nd and 10. And pressure on Cutler, who gets it to Forte, who couldn't pull it in.
They are dialing up some strange disguises. 3rd and 10.
The 3rd down conversion number is bad, especially against the worst 3rd down defense in the NFL, New Orleans. Cutler's going to try to run for it, get it and more. Jay Cutler with a long run out to the 47-yard line. 2nd time he's done that this season.
Can't play that coverage against Jay Cutler. When you play too deep, man-to-man underneath, everybody takes their eyes off the quarterback. Cutler drops back to pass, and if the rush doesn't get there, there's nobody there. Everybody has their back to the quarterback. Very disappointing pass rush by the Saints when they need it the most.
20-yard run by Cutler and a 25-yarder earlier this year. Now he lost the football as he was trying to climb the pocket, and Junior Gillette had a hand on him. But Cutler able to recover it.
They need Junior Gillette.
Backs for New Orleans here tonight. 2nd and 14. Here New Orleans rushes 3, and they still get there as Garza was pushed right back to the quarterback by Akeem Hicks.
You want to see a power rush in by Hicks against Garza. Bull rush. He walks Garza right back into Cutler's lap. Wow. Akeem Hicks. Inside pass rush presence.
Back sacks make it 3rd and 21. And it's Bennett on a little crosser here. Won't get much. And down 16 with 6:20 to go. They're just trying to get enough yardage to make us. Guys have been so integrated into the community since their arrival there some 9 years ago. And just one more example of that here tonight. Throwing, leading by 16 with 5:24 left. And complete to Colston. And Kyle Fuller shaken up on the play. And coming out of the game for Chicago.
You know how nice it must be to have a quarterback like Drew Brees? You're in a 5-minute drill. All you got to do is run some clock, but instead of handing it off, you let him throw the ball. You put him in check with me situations. He's in complete control of the Saints offense.
Alois Jean comes in to replace the injured Fuller, and Eric Lorig, the fullback, gets his 3rd rush of the season. Too shy of the first down, and Mark Tress will begin using his timeouts here, taking one.
And a lot of things that need to be cleaned up.
Saints took a timeout after the Bears timeout. This is a 3rd and 2 throw for Breeze, and it's incomplete, and so that will buy some time here for Chicago. Looking like they're set up more to give Mariani some blocking on a return. 48 on the kick. Mariani juggles, flag down. And that 14-yard return will come back, and the Bears are going to start this somewhere around their 20.
NFC South.
Then again, New Orleans with the win here. We get to 6-8. They'd be in control of their own fate with 2 games remaining. Forte, the carry to the 26-yard line.
That's a bizarre call there. I would think they'd want to be throwing it and going up to the line of scrimmage and throwing it again.
Okay, we'll jump into the no huddle now as we get close to the 4-minute mark. And they run again. Forte shy of the 30-yard line.
That's, at least some Bear fans agree with me.
Come on.
3rd and 2. Here's the throw, and it's complete to Jeffrey for the first down, but there is multiple penalty flags thrown. That will help decide which team will win the division and host a playoff game.
Hey, run, 50, run.
Hand signal down, heard him. Jeffrey.
32. Forte picked up the Vaccaro blitz, but the rest of the pressure wasn't taken care of as Cutler's engulfed by John Jenkins, the 7th sack of the Bears quarterback tonight. We're going to go for it on 4th down.
Jenkins, 92. But Roy, the left guard, didn't even know he was blocking him. A lot of indecision, poor communication, and bad results tonight from this Bear offensive line.
4th and 8, last gasp for Chicago. Cutler directing, launching downfield, and incomplete. It was just the last second when Morgan broke free. Cutler didn't have the time to get him in.
It's going to be no picnic if they can get there.
A place where they never used to lose and now can't win. Ingram runs it just inside the 20-yard line. Remember, New Orleans had all the great success, 19 straight wins when Sean Payton was.
Mike and John, take it away.
All right, Leaf, see you then. 2nd and 6 for New Orleans. Ingram runs to the left. Chicago still has 2 timeouts. Mark Ingram's down at the 15-yard line. It's a homecoming for Sean Payton. NFL. Here's Sean, who's just trying to find his way in football, playing for the Bears. Here is Mark Ingram scoring for the Saints.
Power King means they're going to get a double team here and here. And Mark Ingram presses it, bounces it.
Good to see Mariani back in the league here. They're going to try a reverse at 31-8. Sonaris Perry is spun down shy of the 30-yard line by 2 touchdown catch man Josh. He has done a great job. The adversity they had with the snowstorm. They handled the NFC North, swept them with a win over Green Bay. Heck of a season for Doug Marrone and company up in Buffalo.
Heck of a season. And they got a new owner. They changed quarterbacks. And Jim Schwartz and that defense, right, they're scary. But Sean Payton walked in last night. And we asked him, what do you got to do to get this thing turned around? He said, our 3rd down defense is awful. Well, not tonight. He said, we got to play with passion. We got to play harder. They did that tonight as well. And their defensive line has to play better, and they did. And here goes Jeffries.
Jeffrey on the run, out of bounds at the 25. Other than the celebrating Saints fans, the misery-loving Bears fans, those who are remaining are trying to make their fantasy football championship games next week. In the next minute, too, might determine if you win some cheese.
Fan. There's a lot of garbage yards that you make late in games.
About a third of their season, John, they've been down by double digits. Kadeem Carey, 7-yard line, 52 seconds left. Detroit comes in here next week. From the 7, Cutler, back shoulder, Jeffrey held it for the touchdown.
Shows you what kind of arm talent Cutler has. He catches and releases. He snaps this ball into a 2-foot box. It's impressive. Back shoulder fade, and Alshon Jeffrey, I believe he's gone over 1,000 yards again. Section of first place.
At 6 and 8. Major game Sunday against Atlanta. A game that could go a long way to determining the NFC South champ. Sean Payton pushed the buttons. He brought in a lot of players for individual meetings. Try to connect to guys to find a way to shake the lineup up. They have some success, and they turn it into a 31-15 win. And I'm sure Sean Payton will be taking that game ball back to that 11-year-old young Stanley Leon who's courageously battling cancer back in New Orleans. Inspiration to so many back in Louisiana. GMC postgame is coming up next. Scott Van Pelt and John Buccigross got you covered with SportsCenter back in the studio. Steve Levy and company here in Chicago. With John Gruden, Lisa Salters, Mike Tirico. So long from Soldier Field.